The Youfab Creative Rewards have been run since 2012. This came from a organization called the Fan Cafe and basically started as a competition to bring creatives together and help to create new experiences and challenge current experiences. So this year's theme is contactless by default. Basically, this is related to the fact that the way we live and the way we communicate and the way we shop, it has changed dramatically since the start of the coronavirus pandemic. Basically, the norms of people going to an office and people going out to a concert has completely changed. And I guess the challenge is making these experiences just as valuable and immersive and educational as in person ones. So, while thinking about this theme, an idea I came up with was to create a VR office meeting room experience. I thought of this because arguably one of the most significant changes that has happened in the last year is the drastic increase in the amount of people that are now working from home. And this basically presents a whole new set of challenges, especially when it comes to collaborative work. I feel like there are many advantages to an increased amount of the workforce working from home. For one, it allows a more diverse pool of talent from all different areas. Two, it allows workers increased flexibility, which often can improve their mental health and thus work performance. I also think it benefits companies because they save a lot of money in expensive office space rentals and paying business trip costs. Though I think one of the main disadvantages to people working from home is that the office space has a very unique social climate. And basically, it can be really hard to replicate that kind of idea sharing over a video conferencing platform such as Zoom or Cisco. Basically, my concept that I came up with was basically creating a physical office working room that people could bring in their ideas, they could bring in their concepts, their products, for people to easily see in a 3D space to help facilitate more discussion and more feedback. I hope this project will show people that we can combine the benefits of working from home and also the benefits of being in a shared collaborative space together to hopefully produce the happiest and most productive workforce in history. But what do other people think? So I decided to run a survey via Google Forms, and I posted this on social media and sent it to friends, and basically just asked a series of questions about what they would like to see from the application, how they feel about generally working from home, has their how has their experience been with video conferencing platforms. So overall, I got 8 responses to my survey. So the first question I asked was, have you ever attended an online meeting or class? And 7 out of 8 respondents said they had. I then asked what people's opinions were of current video conferencing platforms, and people were mostly kind of indifferent. They kind of somewhat liked them, but they somewhat thought they were flawed. I then asked people if they've ever used any VR technology, and half of people said they hadn't. So I think this is interesting because it shows that, unlike smartphones and PCs, VR hasn't been fully integrated in society and is still kind of a niche thing. I then asked people if they even think VR technology should be used to simulate a workplace environment, and half of people were quite apprehensive and said it shouldn't. I feel like this is because VR is still quite a niche, evolving technology that a lot of people don't have experience with, and I hope that with increased exposure and increased experience, more people will be in favour of this. I also asked whether people would prefer to have realistic depictions of their co-workers or customizable avatars, for example, the type of avatars you get on iOS or Android. And it was very split. Like half of people said they wanted the customizable avatars, and half said they wanted the realistic depictions. So I decided to do 2 different versions. I then asked people what kind of features they would like to see on the app. Quickly, some of the most popular features were definitely a recording function, a note-taking app laid over the screen. Quite a few people wanted a whiteboard that everyone could contribute to. They also wanted the ability to update files in an always open gallery space. The one that was least popular was the ability to walk around a virtual office space. I suspect this is because this wouldn't be a valuable experience that would be worth people's time. Here's another feature that someone wanted to see that I definitely think would be worth implementing. Here are some experiences people have had with online classes. I'm hoping that I will be able to tackle some of these, like for example, using gestures as part of my animation for the avatars. That will hopefully portray more nonverbal communication, as well as optimizing the software to decrease lag. I then asked people about their general feelings about working from home, and the majority of people said that they would like to work home on kind of a part-time basis, so both employing the benefits of being in an office and the benefits of working from home. In conclusion, I think this idea has potential, but there are a lot of kinks that I need to work out. For example, the majority of the people I interviewed are experienced with technology and will have an easier time adapting to a VR system than perhaps people who are slightly less experienced. I then thought about what an average user profile for this technology would be, and I kind of decided on someone who is fairly tech savvy, but perhaps has limited experience with VR, is more of a creative, works on a lot of collaborative projects, but is also experienced with online conferencing platforms such as Zoom. I did kind of base this off the respondents of my survey. I then created a user case scenario where someone is feeling stuck and they're wanting help. So they create a meeting room using the application and invite their supervisor to give them feedback on what they're working on. I then thought about creating avatars and what the avatar customization screen may be like. So I just did a quick mock-up of what I think it should look like. I decided to keep it fairly simple and user-friendly so that people of all different abilities can use it. I then did a mock-up of the meeting rooms with the avatars. I also included a 3D sculpture because I wanted to make sure that files could be implemented and also a screen share of someone's workspace. I then designed a mock-up of this similar version, but with people who are realistic depictions. And I feel this one looks a bit more immersive, like it could be in a real office, as compared to the Avatar one, which is a bit more fun and customizable. So I think it's really due to personal preference, though I think these are going to be two different versions of the software, one with the avatars and one with the people, because having avatars and realistic people would look quite odd. I then did a mock-up of what the inside of the gallery room would look like, where people can display all of their different work. And for this, I decided to showcase that you can not just have 3D models, 2D work, you can also have video. There's all sorts of different work that can be viewed in a 3D space. And I feel this is very valuable because it actually promotes an advantage even to being in person, that you can show this work that you've done on the computer in such an immersive 3D space and people can see it from all angles and provide feedback. I then thought about further testing and development. I think this project, obviously, it needs a lot more research into the type of people that be using it, what kind of features are desired, what kind of features I should maybe rework. Think about how I'm going to make it more accessible to larger groups of people. Think about designing the office to make it feel stylish and immersive, making the avatars appealing, and providing a full range of customization for all types of people. In conclusion, I think that working from home is definitely the future. Even if people aren't working from home full time, a lot more people will be taking more days working from home and having more remote teams. So I think we need to come up with technologies that can really replicate an in person experience, but with the benefits of staying home.